some rebuilding on a deck, and so I saved some of the 2x6s. And as you can see, these boards they're discolored and you know, worn, but I like that. I think it's actually going to make a cool looking table. So what I've done is I've lightly sanded one side and the edges. And again, these are a 2x6 treated deck board. And my dimensions real quick. The only thing that I had to cut other than length was the legs, and I ripped those out of a 2x6 as well. And they are 30.5 inches and 2 by 1.5 inches, of course. So anyways, it's just a 2x leg, but my centerpieces here, let's see, that one's 41, and then my cross piece is 11, and my top pieces are exactly 4 foot, so 48 inches. And what that does is it gives me, with 3 of these wide, it'll hang over about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches all the way around. So I've just built a simple frame, and I've got all my screws showing. I'm using these are actually outdoor, these are outdoor deck screws. They're 4-inch deck screw treated, but the reason I'm using these is because the dark color, that dark green color, kind of goes with the wood that I'm using. So using those to put everything together, and I'll show you how I've fastened that real quick. So what I've done, on each leg I've got 2 that are running, they're running into this board. So two screws run in that direction, and then you see the same thing on this leg, and then 2 running into this board, so they're running that direction. Now I already had this table assembled, and I took it all back apart so I could put it back together glued, but I wanted to have it assembled to make sure it was going to fit for what I needed. Now this would be the style of table that you would put behind a couch, or maybe at an entry, or in an entry, to set your keys and purse and that kind of stuff on. What we're doing is we're going to use it for a computer table. So now to fasten it to the top, I've drilled these pockets. It's a 2x6 using a 4-inch screw, so I think I drilled down 3 inches. That leaves me 1.5 inches, and then, you know, the 1.5 inch boards, that's 3 inches. So I think maybe it was 2 inches deep. I don't remember for sure. But anyways, I pre-drilled those so that at the bottom of the hole, when my screw bottom's out, it won't let it go through the top of the table itself, or the tabletop pieces. So I've done that all around. Now on the end, I should have done 2 more, but instead I just decided to toenail to catch the end. And again, this is all going to be glued and clamped, so it's not going to matter too much, but I have a tendency to kind of overdo things, so this will fit the need. I'm going to give my camera back to my camera girl here. I'm going to go ahead and fasten the top down. So keeping this pretty simple, simple design, and using as few tools as I can as well. So what I'm going to do, take my top, and I'll go ahead and run my bead of glue around it, and then I'll get it centered back up on the table. Top rather. And the whole point of this is not to be fancy. It's to have a rustic looking but functional, sturdy table. You know, this is very, very simple. Nothing fancy at all, but that's kind of the point of this table. I took some scraps from a project that most people would have just thrown the material away, and I'm doing something functional with it. So, you know, you can criticize all you want about how I could have done some things different or better, but this is more than good enough for what I'm doing. Alright, so I've got my ends all flushed up. My glue is on there. I'm going to set it back down in place. I've got it marked where I had it before. So now all I need to do is clamp my top pieces together. So I'm going to... Alright, so I've got my clamps. And again, I've already had this assembled. So all I'm doing is just putting it back where I had it. These boards are not perfectly straight, but they're definitely straight enough for this. There again, simplicity is the key. You know, that's my only focus with this table, is just simplicity. Keep it simple. Upcycling, so I'm using some material that would be waste. I guess you could say this is like what a lot of people do with pallet wood, making pallet furniture. You know, they're taking something that's served its purpose and is going to be disposed of, and they're making some useful and creative stuff out of it. So, alright, I've got everything where I want it. Now my clamps are keeping the boards together this way, and my lid butt is going to keep everything planted down solid so I can screw this together. See that board suck up, so I'm going to get this toenail screws in just to make sure it's pulling in nice on the corners, and I'm just going to work my way down. My toe screw up. Good one. That's all put together, so I'll let my glue dry and then check it for level. I might take the clamps off and let the top relax a little bit to make sure that it's going to set it properly. The key to this is have a nice flat work surface so that your tabletop is flat. But I'll let this dry, flip it over, and show. Alright, this is the finished product. Very simple, very basic, but nice little table with some character. I like the used wood with all the character on it, you know, the old nail holes and lines, and it's pretty cool. I mean, the only thing better probably would be some barn wood, so pretty good stuff. Thanks for watching.